My focus right now is Sean Combs. He's a sex trafficker. And he's using music and entertainment to sex traffic. He's just an extreme narcissist who loves power. He loves the ability to manipulate and control people. Why? Most likely because he was victimized by his mentor, who loved to control people, Andre Well.
Tell us how
who was mentored by Clive Davis. Puff started out as an intern.
Yes,
he was
did.
throwing parties with Mark Barnes in Washington, D.C. And then he became an intern at Uptown. And Andre got passed over. Like, wow. How do you go from being the president of Uptown and losing your entire company to your intern? If I were to put a label on Puff, I would say that he's the Andy Warhol of hip hop. And he got smart and he listened to all of his advisors, mostly Clive Davis, and he won. Like, he was determined to win. Like, nobody knew how determined he was to win. Like, that whole thing with Father MC, he covered that thing up real fast.
What happened with him and Father MC?
There was a party down at Howard, you know, one of the infamous parties, and they had gotten too big, and he didn't have proper security, he didn't have proper permits, and there was a stampede, and Father MC's woman got trampled to death.
Okay, so for those who might not know, Jaguar Wright is a former member of the Neo Collective and has been an industry insider for years. She's been in the spotlight for making shocking allegations, and today we're diving deep into her explosive claims about two of the biggest names in the music industry, Diddy and Jay-Z.
Kim Porter was working on a book before she died. Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. It's too many coincidences. Congratulations, Young Miami. Run as fast as Cassie did. Has anybody asked themselves about that shit? She quit because he dropped her down. What the fuck is going on in that relationship that $250K ain't enough? There's got to be some dark shit. That's how he operates. He has people followed. He has people watched. People are not understanding that girl quit $250K. 4 million every quarter. Well, I'm sorry, $1 million every quarter. I feel bad for the kids. But their father is the fucking devil.
So let's start off with Diddy. Jaguar Wright has made some serious accusations against him. She claims to have witnessed shocking behavior and alleges that Diddy has been involved in some really shady things.
There's all of this industry and not enough synergy. And yeah.
Please, hold that thought. Why do you think T.D. Jakes was at Puff Daddy's birthday party?
You know, do you remember when Bernie Mac played the minister in Friday?
Yes.
That's how I feel about T.D. Jakes. Like, that's how I see. Oh, Miss Parker, come to pray. But for him to be at a Diddy party, I don't know. Like, I feel the same way about that as I feel about when Tyler Perry came to his church and laid hands on him and he caught the Holy Spirit from Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is the bishop of what? Like, I've never, like, and I cut a check for $100, and I'm gonna lay my hands on you, bishop. And he said, and then the bitch said, it's on the fucking internet. He's doing all of this, right? And then there's a woman on the dais screaming, push the baby out, birth that baby, I'm like, what? Are we a church? Or is this about to turn into like a whole nother scene, like a lost scene from Eyes Wide Shut? Like, this shit is looking a little weird. I mean, if Bishop Jakes was at a Diddy party, there could only be two reasons. Money or sex. That's all that happens at Diddy parties. Money and sex.
I just
I hope it was for money.
charitable contribution.
I hope it was for money because arguing about who's going to put the strap on is that can be a very uncomfortable situation.
Wright alleges that Diddy has manipulated and controlled artists using underhanded tactics to maintain his power in the industry. She even goes as far as to claim that some of his business practices could be considered criminal.
Come out to Puff Daddy's defense. And he said the one thing that kind of threw me off, where he said Diddy has never done no crime. I said, wow, that's a blanket statement to say no crime. For him, for him to say that. Yeah. No crime. I'm like you're kind of fucking yourself up by even saying that.
He's on 1,000 fucking sex tapes. What the fuck else he's supposed to say? What he gonna say? Diddy guilty or what? What the fuck he gonna say? He's got this nigga. He's using him, his little sex tapes and shit, as the archetype to recruit new fuck niggas. Look at Stevie J fucking Bieber in the ass. That's all you gotta do.
And the world knows that Stevie J's sex tapes date back to him and Mary J. Blige on the sex tape? Yeah, it goes
back. Did you ever see the tape with him and Evelyn?
Yeah, him and Eve. I'm sorry. Yeah, him and Eve. Evelyn. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Yes. It dates back to that. I'm sorry, Mary J. Blige. Yeah. But it dates back to her.
He fucked her too.
Oh, goddamn.
And I ain't saying allegedly. Mary. Yeah.
You know, it's funny, Jag, because you mentioned like when you said, hey, I want to learn what the Tusi was. I didn't know what it was, and you learned about it. And then just last week you hear about Diddy's bodyguard arrested for drugs, paraphernalia. I'm like, okay. It seems to be like everything keeps unraveling slowly but surely. And, you know, he's like, oh, you hear Stevie J. He's never done nothing illegal, but you hear his bodyguard getting arrested for drugs. And you only have to assume that these drugs are what, this is Diddy's bodyguard getting arrested.
Stevie J was at the house in Miami when they pulled up Bad Boy Style.
Oh, yeah, he was. He said, I'm at Diddy's house.
Don't forget. He was there. They had him in twisty ties, too, like they had the kids over there in the Beverly Hills.
I forget about that.
Fuck was you doing there?
I think he was getting hit.
He's a fucking ghoul. Let me tell you something. If Diddy and fucking Stevie J was a movie, it would be The Vampire of Brooklyn.
Oh, man.
Diddy would be Eddie Murphy. And Stevie J would be Kadeem Hardison, the ghoul.
God.
The nigga that he kept falling apart.
Yeah, losing his fingers and
shit. But he was down because he was waiting for his moment.
Now, let's talk about JayZ. According to Jaguar Wright, JayZ has his own dark secrets. She claims that his rise to the top was not as clean as it appears, suggesting that he's been involved in some pretty unethical practices.
To his interns.
Reggie Wright.
The speech that he was giving was probably one of the most disturbing speeches I ever heard an executive give to interns. He said, the objective of Bad Boy is to kill talent. We don't want talented motherfuckers at Bad Boy. Talented motherfuckers think they gotta say. Oh, a talented motherfucker will tell you, I'm gonna turn in my album when I feel like it. He said, but see, if we get people with no talent, and then we make them look like stars, see, we have total control. Because without us, they can't be the shit. Oh. He said, that's how we're gonna run this label, and we're gonna run these motherfuckers into the ground, and I'm gonna make all of you rich. And that was his fucking pep talk at the Kit Kat Club in 1996 to his interns, who are now mostly executives at Bad Boy.
So that explains making the band, bringing unknowns, not paying them, dragging, damn Mitch. That explains that. We get one album, never see them again.
Sean Combs is maniacal. but he's effective at his tools. He messed with all of their lives. All of them. All for the optics, all for the glory of Bad Boy. A label that did nothing but destroy artists and groups.
Yes. Talk about
And
it.
he's still making money to this day off of all of their catalog.
Yep. I gotta ask you this. What else
Shout
did
out
Puffy
to
put
Mother
out?
Wallace.
Yes. May Biggie rest
That's
in
the
peace.
true hero. That's the true hero in the Biggie Smalls story. Valletta
Yeah.
Wallace.
Did he treat his women the same way he treated his artists? Is the question.
He treats his women worse.
Shout out to Keefe D. Stop pump faking and save your life. Tell them who paid you to say the shit that you said. Because you getting poked up and getting your ass beat in jail. And Reggie Wright got you tailor-made to fit for a goddamn casket. I met your son, Keefe. He's a good man. He follows me on TikTok. He made me change my mind about you. 6 months ago, I ain't getting no fuck what happened to you. Today, I'm praying for your life. Every day. Because I want you to live to tell the truth. Because the second you do, Valletta Wallace can finally get justice. The second you do, maybe Aaliyah's family will be held accountable for what they turned their heads to. And maybe Hype Williams will be charged for conspiracy.
I know in the 90s was different. A lot of older guys messed with the girls that were under 17 years of age. And, now we're a little more educated because of the talk shows with Oprah that we went through and Dr. Phil and stuff like that. Even Ricky Lake and all of that. We realized that it wasn't so cool messing with the underage young ladies. I never had an attraction for someone younger. I always looked and had an attraction for older women, so I probably didn't have that problem. But then everybody that I fucked with did. Everybody. All of them. No names mentioned yet. But I'm going to expose somebody that we all forget about. Y'all see this picture of JayZ with Aaliyah when she was underage? Y'all forgot about Jay, huh? We only know about Damon Dash messing with Aaliyah and R. Kelly. But that ain't the only one that Jay had when she was underage. Y'all remember Fox Brown and Jay? Ain't no woman like the one I got. No one could love you better. Before that song came out, we used to hear it. I used to tell shit. I was like, woo, that shit. Him and Mystical, those were two songs that were hot. That it took like a year before it got, well, I'll say to the West Coast. I don't know if they were beating it up on the East Coast. But on the West Coast, it took like a year before those songs came out. And then Nelly song with the Link St. Louis Ticks. But I'm just saying all that to say, Foxy was young then as well. And so, all of these guys and the underage young ladies was running rapid in the 90s. And so, that's all I remember. That's all I think about, with the DeBarge and Janet Jackson situation. Hey, that's all I think about, and I can remember about Aaliyah. Aaliyah was my wife's favorite artist. She loved the hell out of Aaliyah. It was a tragic how she died. Trying to rush back to get to Damon Dash on the plane. And what happened is the Bahamians let her fly out, and their plane was overloaded or full. That's the one thing that I didn't like about when I traveled to our black countries like the Bahamas and Jamaica and all of them. The officials there, we used to have to bribe them $100 to make the rules fast. Let us in with the dogs that we didn't have properly cleaned, or the not search our bags or whatever, or to sneak away with a whole bunch of cigars and stuff like that. But in Mexico, one thing about the motherfucking Mexican authorities, that number used to be 5 G's, 5,000 and stuff like that. And I used to laugh. I was like, damn, black folks is easily bribable. They so cheap. They don't understand the value that they be having. But yeah, that's all I got on Aaliyah, really. It's a talent. That's another person that life was taken too soon. That was a talent. Wonder where she would be now. Her, Pac, Big Pun.
I want you to think about this. Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter. Yeah. Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a JayZ victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened. And yet, they had to sit there and have that conversation like they didn't know who did it. Allegedly.
Jaguar Wright just explained that JayZ is going to go down after Diddy. In her newest interview with Real Life Street Stars, she went into detail on exactly why JayZ is about to go down and why everything is happening with Diddy. And when I tell you Jaguar Wright did not hold back anything in this interview, I mean she laid it all out on the floor. So I'm going to go ahead and roll you guys this clip of everything that Jaguar Wright had to say about JayZ and Diddy, and let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
So why does it all come to a head now? Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time. Like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
JayZ